sometimes you get some unexpected things. But what is important is to try. And that's what I'm going to talk about. So, I want you to think about the last time that you learned something. Maybe it was today's morning, maybe it was the night before an exam. And how did you feel? Was it joy? Or was it the lack of purpose that was driving you crazy again and again? Because the purpose of learning is what I was thinking about since I started primary school. What's the point? Started focusing on the most practical things that I could derive from schooling system. Because with 12 subjects, it's impossible to just excel at each and every one of them. So what I figured is to learn languages as much as I can and as many. So I started learning German and English at the age of 6. And what I really loved about it is the process is just a road that you can see each milestone in. At the end of my primary school, I received 2 finalist titles of the National German Olympiad, and it granted me a place in one of the best high schools in Pomerania. But that wasn't the best prize. The best one was when we went in our final 8th grade to a school exchange. I was the only person speaking German to the Germans, and that fulfilled me with a lot of pride and happiness. In 2 weeks, I just destroyed the language barrier that I had, and today I can speak too. And that's amazing. One of the things that just really brings all my interests together is MUN. And you're probably familiar with the concept because your school organizes one. But it's basically high schoolers and university students debating about global issues like the UN does. So here I am on this picture speaking about cybersecurity of Estonia. A topic I had no idea about prior to my research. And yet I did it. With 200 eyeballs staring at me. It was frightening. So, at that point, I decided to work on my public speaking skills. And each opportunity there was, I would take it. Teacher would ask if somebody could talk to a class about something, I would always raise my hand. I started looking for competitions outside of school. I took part in them. Sometimes I knew that my chances are quite slim, but I still did it. And I learned. Here you can see me from 3 months ago. And I was looking better that day. I know I'm a bit squashed. But I was speaking next to the Prime Minister of Poland and the President of Warsaw, your beautiful city, in the Campus Polska, the biggest social fair in Europe, about education, about how it may or may not prepare the students for the real life. So I started my investigation about this topic in February, and I tried to learn and understand why do Polish kids dislike their school so much. Because I remember when the pandemic started and I was in primary school, kids from lower grades were cheering out of happiness that the school's over. They were laughing and they had so much fun. And I thought to myself, wow, this is bad. 12 years of our lives and they are so happy that they don't have to go to it anymore. 12 years, that's a lot of time. Kids should be happy at school. They should learn and have some joy with it. So actually, it occurred that Polish kids not only dislike their school, but they hate it the most out of all European countries. And you guys are so lucky. You speak English so fluently. You have so many opportunities. and you receive international education. However, not everybody has that much luck. For example, your Polish peers. So, I talked to various students and teachers, conducted several interviews, and I came up with a conclusion that led me to publishing these articles in one of the biggest newspapers in Poland. And Heidi, you pronounced it just right. And with over 9 million readers every month, I could share the conclusion, which was that even though the kids at Polish schools realize the disadvantages of the system, they don't try to find opportunities for their education elsewhere. So they do realize what the problems are, however, they still rely on it very heavily. And the question is, what do you want to learn? In the end, it's about the purpose, about your goals. Which way are you heading? Where do you want to see yourself in 5, 10 years? That's what the recruiter is going to ask you. And you cannot just say, my GPA, 6.0. That's not going to be enough. What are the skills that you want to learn? You want to play an instrument, learn a foreign language? If you struggle to find the answer, think about what makes this butterfly feeling in your stomach. Trust your gut. What are you thinking about when everything is already done and you can just lie in your bed? What comes to your mind? What do you want to learn? So in order to do that and just get ahead, you settle goals for yourself. The little milestones that help you to get and push forward. And I got a little quiz for you. What do you think is the success rate of New Year's resolutions? And think about a number in your head. Got it? Okay. So, not much. 9%, kind of depressing. And when I check out Instagram in January, for example, like the last year, so many influencers were recording their stories and saying, oh, Jesus, New Year's resolutions are so nonsense. Nobody follows it anymore. And if it's not going to succeed and come to fruition, why would you even try? I think that the question should be a different one. What can we do to actually make them succeed? Because this rate is not just there. There are reasons for it. And for example, most people, when they, for example, want to sign up to the gym or learn Spanish, they don't even write their goal on paper. They just have it somewhere at the New Year's party. Oh, what's your resolution? I will learn this and that. And they just forget when the February hits. So what you can do to actually make it work. Be smart, but not literate. More plan your goal in a way that it's going to be attainable for your brain. So what you do need is to make it specific. For example, if I wanted to learn public speaking, first I was thinking about the direction that I want to go into. So the direction is learn how to speak better. Good. Not a goal yet. I want to learn public speaking, so I'm going to deliver a speech in 6 months to an audience of XYZ members. That's something that you can actually visualize, that you and your brain are able to comprehend. Because when you set yourself a measurable thing, it's easily quantifiable. You can just check it. The goal failed, it did not fail, because what's going to determine if I speak right or not? And if I really learn it. And also, it's really nice to be ambitious, and it really pays off. However, remember that if you want to learn a skill, you're going to have the steps. It's not level 0 and Mount Everest. So 6 months, good time, good for preparation. And the deadlines. You may hate the deadlines, but your brains are going to love it because you need a push and a motivation. Another one, Beyoncé method, one of my favorite. So think about a person that would 100% achieve your goal. It can be a character that exists in real life or is fictional, but somebody who you are sure that has those habits and those traits that make them succeed. And for me, it's Beyoncé. Would she wake up at 7 a.m. to go jogging? She would. And I really hate to break it to myself when it's almost winter, and I really don't want to, but she would. So think about the traits of that person and what that person could do every day in order to actually increase their chances of succeeding. And then implement them. And Sherlock Holmes. When you have a goal in your mind already, you follow the SMART method, you follow the habits. Now, look for opportunities. Be like a detective. Listen, watch carefully. When you tell other people about your goal, it's very possible that somebody might know another somebody that could help you to actually achieve it. Maybe it's somebody that can teach you the skills that you dream to have. So it's worth to share what your goal is. Another thing, when you're scrolling that Instagram in your bed, think about your detective contact lenses that you have on. You are searching for what can help you to achieve your goal. And when you start this click in your brain, you just think differently about internet and content on social media, you start looking at those opportunities, you start seeing them. And then you can use them and take part in competitions, get that scholarship, go to your dream school. It's possible. But what is better is to help yourself to achieve it and to make it simple. And when I was scrolling Instagram one day, I encountered Girls Future Ready Foundation. And I haven't heard about it from other sources before, but it's just a foundation that helps girls to achieve a professional career. And to the boys here, opportunities and searching for them, this is universal. Maybe you will find something like this one day that can help you to succeed and get your career on. So Girls Future Ready helps girls to get the competencies of the future. So for example, entrepreneurship, public speaking, and English skills. So they had these various projects, helped over 80,000 girls, and I became interested, started following them, even though my parents told me that internet is useless. It's a waste of time. It's not. It's just a tool. You can use it, and you can use it in a smart way that's going to be beneficial for your future. So they had an opening for a Her Story project. I applied, and I got in. And one of the main points of the mentorship project, working with Kalina, a wyborcza journalist, was to publish articles in the education system. So that was one of my dreams that really came true, because my dad reads that newspaper every day, and he could read his 18-year-old daughter's articles, and it really filled my heart with joy. But I was thinking to myself, if that project has helped me so much, I want to give back. So I became a marketing intern at the foundation. And as Heidi spoiled my story, a few months later, I became the head of the whole team. And now I'm working on those materials that you can see to make somebody see those opportunities that are out there. But my most important tip that I want to leave it with you is the decision. You decide every day, during your daily habits, whether you're going towards your goal or away from it. And it may sound dull, but it isn't. It means that each step that you take every day, each habit that you have, can actually accelerate your journey. And here you have the QR code to the Instagram of Girls Future Ready and my private LinkedIn profile. And if you want to ask me a question or need help, I'm here. I want to thank you for your attention, and it was such a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.